Just when you thought that Season 2 couldn't get any better, Jojo Waffleman returns to the wrestling business. Hello, this is episode number 50 of the T2 Tweetaway Challenge Run. It's sort of the off-season, sort of just series recap and State of the Universe address sort of thing. I have got a list of things that I do want to cover here, so I guess I'll just jump straight into it. So we just come off, of course, the first ever two-night SummerSlam, and SummerSlam Night 2 was an excellent show. We shot gold with it, got an 89, among other things here. WWE title they retained, Reigns and The Fiend had a match, Paige won, and then Sasha cashed in, etc. The SummerSlam videos have been up for, well, one's been up for 2 days, one's been up for a day now, and quite frankly, the feedback that I've gotten on them has actually blown me away, because, especially for someone like me, who's got like 150 or whatever, all the likes, all the nice comments, the intro that I worked so hard to make seemed to be received very well, because it is just something I just do for fun. Like, there's no really benefit to it. It's just, I like doing the production sort of stuff to it, and it takes a while, and it's nice to know that you all liked it and it paid off, because obviously, again, yeah, I don't really get many money for doing it. That's the reason I use the whole copyrighted music, because obviously you can't monetize it, you get 1,000 subs, but so yeah, I couldn't make money off it anyway, so I may as well just get copyright strike so that artists can get the 0p that I make from it. So yeah, so SummerSlam recap is the top thing on my agenda here, and that was very good. I was very successful both in the game and outside of the game, I feel. 86 for night 1, night 2 got an 89. Very, very good. Season finale to end on. And I've just closed the agenda down, hold on. Goal recap is number 2. So that's my point, of course. Here they are. So these are the goals that we set before the series started, that I've been more or less abiding by the whole time. So we start at the top. We'll review my progress for how we did in Season 1. Top 1 is the push goals for people I was supposed to be pushing. Number 1 is Buddy Murphy. There was no sort of popularity goal, it was just push him, make him higher up the card, I guess. And if we look at him in the game, he's, of course, Mr. Money in the Bank, so that should tell you already that he's been pushed. He's a 68, 66-ish. He's a star on Raw, white hot. Very good stats. Muscular. And if we look at his popularity growth, he went from a 51 to a 68 in this many months, so I think that's why I've got the little square brackets on him. I consider that one a success. Cesaro, of course. If you would have watched SummerSlam, if you haven't, I don't know why you're here. Retained the Intercontinental Championship against Sheamus at SummerSlam. He's in the 70, 73-ish range. Intercontinental Champion, major star. His popularity's gone from 60 to 73. So he is a major star. He's finally sort of where people have wanted him on the card for 8 years. Cesaro, push, successful. Bo Dallas is a weird one. See, he had that bit of segment where he was getting pushed when he was trying to fight for his job because he was supposed to be fired with Curtis Axel and that sort of thing. And he sort of, after that had done, I sort of like, the whole point was to try and sort of make you not remember about him, so that when he popped up to do the 8-man tag, you're like, oh yeah, that was a thing. Bo Dallas, I noticed, we're friends, and he did owe him. Because his popularity, he's one of these people in the game where, yeah, you see, he'd been booked in the main events and segments and getting wins, but he didn't gain any. He gained 1 pop the whole season. He's one of those people that is hard for the game, because I don't ever see them get over. People like Mojo Rawley and The Ascension used to be like the main offenders of it. Like, I just never see him get over in the game. I'm going to keep trying. Season 2 will be a good one for Bo, but I will keep Bo Dallas on the board. Shelton, of course, had a pop goal. He was supposed to get to 70. He's at high 40s now, which may seem low, considering it's been 4 months and he's gained like 4 or 5 free pop. But once he's out of the 50s, I feel like it is a lot easier to go from 50 to... This may sound weird to me. It seems like it's easier to go from like 50 pop to 70 pop than it is to go from 40 to 50. I don't know if that's just me, but it's seemed that way in 2016. It seems that way in this game as well. Plus, when I go over the size goals in a minute, that will also help. When Shotman starts getting wins, he'll have more exposure, so he will go up quicker. So Season 2 also looking to be a good one for old Shelty B. That's the agenda. Apollo, I didn't put the double square brackets on. I just put one because, again, I feel like he is in a better position now being a part of VIP Nation. He had the Raw Tag titles, and he is, like he is in real life, a solid mid-card hand. But the reason I didn't fully say that he was pushed is because, again, on the pop side, he's only at a 45. The highest he's been is a 47. So, like, I feel like the way that VIP Nation have been used, they should be a bit higher. What's Lashley at, actually? I can look at him and then judge from that. He's a 70s, yeah, he's a major star. So, that's weird. But Apollo and Shelton keep opening that agenda up. You know what? I'm going to minimise it. Hold on. It's annoying me. You can see what I have planned. I can't reach it because Bandicam's in the way. Okay. So, I'll keep Bo, I'll keep Shelton, I'll keep Apollo on here. Push goals. Otis, WWE, or Championship goals even. Otis, WWE Champion, needs to happen at some point. He is currently high 50s, low 70s. He's well known by the fans. Great, lovable weirdo. And funny story about Otis. If you go to Promises, Sami Zayn, Daniel Bryan, and Cesaro have all offered to put him over. I don't know if I'm actually going to use them. And also Dolph Ziggler has offered to put over Tucker as well. So something about the Heavy Machinery boys this game seems to like. But I don't know if I'm actually going to use them because they don't really fit any plans I have, considering Daniel Bryan, babyface, Sami Zayn's a babyface now, Cesaro's a babyface, they want to put over Otis, who's a babyface, and then Tucker is a heel, Dolph Ziggler, heel, so it didn't really fall in line to make any kind of sense to sort of book the matches, but they are there if I want to use them. But Otis still on course to win a world title, WWE champion. R-Truth, if we look at him, he's high 49s, 50 pop, just from segments and just from winning the 24/7 title, which if we look at, he's a 49-time champion. I did add in the 2 that I forgot to put in for SummerSlam, that's why it says September, because I didn't book them on the show, I just added them in after the fact, because it doesn't keep track of the actual order anyway, like, down here, somewhere. It had, like, the wrong order for some of these. I can't remember off the top of my head which one it was, but R-Truth is a 49-time champion. He's chugging along. He pretty much drops it and picks it up on every show, so it won't be long before he's rocking and rolling 100 times as the 24/7 champion, and it's not something that I can just... It's something I can just keep doing and keep booking him in silly segments like the SummerSlam house party. Liv, SummerSlam spoiler again, has won the Raw Women's title. That's the goal that she was set. She's well known. 50s across the board. Again, with the sort of Promises thing, I've tried using one because I thought Shayna Baszler was going to be angry about losing to Liv Morgan. And I accidentally did it a month too early, and she was like, okay, I'll put her over once, but it's only going to last a month, so it expired before SummerSlam. So that was bad time, and then I asked her again, she was like, oh, I've already done that, bitch. But she was actually fine with losing at the pay-per-view for whatever reason. Charlotte was the only one who actually moaned about it, which, yeah. Because Charlotte is like 69, no, high 70s. Now she actually went up losing that match, somehow. Probably because she took herself out and didn't get pinned in it. Well, the game doesn't know that, Connor, you. Anyway, so Liv. Oni, WWE champion by 2022. He's got another whole year to work on him, but he's just now getting into the 40s. He's been very, very one of my favourite parts of Season 1. gone from 28 pop to 39-40-ish, and he has no signs of slowing down in Season 2. Those fingers will still be in the air, and hopefully you'll join him and throw him up on his quest through the rest of 2020 and 2021 to become WWE Champion. Mustafa Ali, Universal Champion, feels like I could do it at any point because he's at 64, 65 sort of pop. He's got the hacker thing going on, and yeah, he's white hot, or very hot, not white hot. So yeah, he's scoring better than his pop. So like, he is someone that any time I could put on the WWE title, or the Universal title. But Daniel Bryan is the champion right now, so he'd probably have to drop that first before Ali managed to win it. Ember Moon, women's title by WrestleMania, and if we look at her, she has been back from her injury for about a week. It's not just a case of not booking her and saving her for anything. She hasn't been available for most of Season 1. And, of course, in real life, she's still not back. She might not even wrestle again, but she's available on this game now, so she'll come back at some point and, I guess, win one of the women's titles. Shane Thorne and Brendan Vink have done the goal. They are currently 2-time, because that does technically count as multi-time, but even if it does mean 3, I'm sure they'll win it again at some point. But 2-time champions, Brendan Vink, 36 pop. If we look at good old Slapjack down here, he's at 39-40. So they're slowly getting there. They're now recognisable. They were unimportant for most of the season, but here they are now. They've got a nice looking Season 2 ahead of them as the Raw Tag Team Champions. But for the sake of it, that one off the list. King Corbin, who we haven't seen since he lost to Daniel Bryan at Judgment Day. Again, like Mustafa Ali, he's high 60s. He can pretty much win it at any... I don't think he's scoring as good as Ali because his stats aren't as good. I don't know why I'm pointing with my finger. These are what I'm looking at here. They're not as good as Ali's, so I feel like he could win it at any time, but also like he may drop the prestige a little bit, so I'm not sure when I'll pull the trigger on him, but he's going to have to do it. He will be world champion at some point. Good old King Corbin. Miscellaneous goals. Again, I only put the one square bracket on because I'm going to go over this one in more detail. Undertaker is to win, or not win, to participate in a cinematic match at, it said, every Big Four. But, okay, so I did that at SummerSlam, and I'm going to do that at Survivor Series. But the thing is, I feel like Survivor Series is the perfect time to retire him, because it's 30 years on at the very event he debuted at. I believe on the exact same day in real life, actually. And the stars have just aligned for this to be the perfect time to retire him, so I guess I'll do one at Survivor Series, but that's really why I want to retire him, so I guess that will still be every Big Four, quote-unquote, because there's only 2 of them. But I know they meant SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Rumble, and Mania, but I kind of think it's perfect to write him out at Survivor Series. So I think that may be what I do. So that will still count as having him there, so I'll keep it on the board just to remind me to book it at Survivor Series. And I feel like that will be the end of The Undertaker. Tucky, heel turn and big boy faction. The Hoss House has been raking havoc for months on SmackDown now at this point. Tucky's in the 50s. He's actually benefited quite a lot from being in part of it. The other two, Dabba-Kato, where is he? He's still in the 20s. Ubakanu, still in the 20s. Braun was the Universal Champion, though, so I pressed B. There we go. Braun. He's now at high 80s. I believe he did have 90s at one point, but when he lost to Bryan, he dropped a couple. No, actually, that is the highest he's ever been, 89. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, Braun, Dabba-Kato, Ubakanu, Tucker, the Hoss House. That is the biggest of big boy factions if I've ever seen one. And Tucky is in fact heel, so we've done that one. Undisputed Era can't be called up for a year. I'll go over NXT in a minute, but shut up, Google, go away. I'll go over NXT in a minute, but of course, they haven't been called up. They don't know what else to say. They're not on Raw or SmackDown yet. And then Strong are ready to turn on Cole when called up. Again, they haven't been called up yet, so don't know what else to say. WrestleMania 37, the second two-night WrestleMania, which won't be a problem because I just did a two-night SummerSlam. So if I'm going to do SummerSlam as 2 nights, may as fucking well make WrestleMania 2 nights as well, eh? Women's Tag Titles main event of pay-per-view. I'm working on that. I haven't done it yet. I feel like Evolution, if I do an Evolution pay-per-view, it says down there Evolution 2 by 2021. I'll address that in a minute as well once I get to a later point on this. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming up in season 2 that is going to address a lot of these down here. Women's Tag Titles, I'm still working on a place to put them, to get them in the main event somewhere, but hopefully I'll get it done. If not, it will carry over past me. Again, I'll keep these on here. The ones that don't have a deadline, like say Shelton Benjamin's 70s by Survivor Series, of course, will leave at Survivor Series. But like Youngest World Champion, I'll just keep on there until I do it. So if I don't get it done before Mania next year, I will have the women's titles main event at pay-per-view. Because I don't plan to end this one at WrestleMania 37. I plan to carry it on after that. World title win in main roster debut. Again, I will get to it. I actually know when it's happening, so don't worry about that one. That will be done. That will be addressed. India Tour by the Rumble. This happening in October. Like in season 2016 challenge run when I did the UK tour in July. Yeah, they'll be like that, but I'll be doing India tour in October, and that's by the Rumble, so that'll be fine. And then that one falls into line with Evolution 2 by 2021 because October pay-per-view there'll be the Super Showdown show in India, like the ones they do in Saudi Arabia, but India because it's an India tour. But that's going to be joint branded. So then that'll be the men's show, basically, and then Evolution will be on that Sunday. So the Saturday, week 4 of October, will be Super Showdown in India. But Evolution won't be in India because it's going to be handicapped for being just women anyway. And all the women have like 2 pop in India, so fuck doing that in India. So basically after SmackDown, they'll all fly over to the States. Evolution will happen in the US on the Sunday. This originally said A-rated, but of course the way the game rates matches now, I've changed it to 80+ because we don't have A, B, C, D and all that anymore. So Mojo, basically, I've got to stick him in there with somebody good. Basically, try and get him, and he's got to, of course, get a bit more pop because I think Drew and AJ only get an 82. And of course, that will be there. He cannot leave WWE until that is finished. I missed Youngest World Champion, yep. Of course, Austin Theory, I had it planned. It should have been finished with him. But he had to go and be a sketchy human in real life, and it will no longer be him. So I'm still looking for a suitable replacement, but again, leave that one with me. I will get to it at some point. Double Turn. Again, this one's a bit weird because technically I did this at Backlash. Austin Theory was a babyface for 3 weeks when he got kicked out of the Zelina Vega faction, and Garza was the heel, and then he turned heel on them at the pay-per-view and feuded with Seth, and then Garza feuded with Seth, so he was the face in that feud. But I consider the full Angel Garza face turn when he got beat up at the end of Great Balls of Fire not there, so that was a soft double turn, but I don't consider it enough to wipe this off, so I'm going to keep it for season 2. Best in the World tournament every year. Winner faces the existing Best in the World winner. I feel like I have the best place for this. Just like in Saudi Arabia at the Crown Jewel show when the first one took place, the Super Showdown show in India in October will feature the Best in the World tournament. Again, this will all be addressed again nearer the time in case you forget. I'm just going to bring it up here now so I know it's out there that I have it planned in. So the World Cup 2 will be happening at the October India show, and then winner faces the existing Best of the World winner. So basically the winner of that will then face Shane McMahon at Survivor Series. Thrilling, I know. So Shane will be back in the save at some point, but he has to be because good old Jerry left that for me, and I've got to do it. So he wants Shane McMahon wrestling, I guess. No rehiring Black Wednesday signings. I haven't done that. Or Axel or the Revival yet. I just haven't signed. I don't think I've signed many people. I've signed a couple, but like there was enough in NXT anyway. So even with all the call ups, NXT is still quite stacked. Company overview. This is the most important one I want to go over right now. We'll start with the size, because this has been a concern of mine for the last couple of videos, because you haven't seen. We should be big. Actually, we shouldn't, because if I check the criteria, we would actually go straight up to large. Because it says 71 for other regions of either Canada or Mexico, and we have at 78, 74. But I forgot about the cooldown period. So when we drop down to medium, it said obviously you can't rise back up in a certain number of months, and now that's got 33 days left if you check up here. So I was editing in all these snarky remarks about how the game sucked because it wasn't bumping me up to big. Turns out it's actually a functioning feature in the game that I can't grow just yet. So, but obviously after these 33 days are up, so that'll be after Unforgiven and No Mercy. I think, it will be, so 28 days, yeah, so it'll be the first SmackDown of October. Once that's done, and that'll be in India, unless I lose Pop, because those are in India, fuck's sake, then I'll go up to large. So, yeah, so that's just a matter of waiting at this point. Creative, I'll go over in the company recap. Franchise players, stars mostly associated with World Wrestling Entertainment, the wrestlers from the main event scene is who most of the fans come to see. They're in essence the face of the company. Below is a list showing who the creative team think are the best WWE has. The ones who should be the foes of the company. John Cena, number 1. Brock Lesnar, number 2. Seth Rollins, number 3. Becky Lynch, number 4. Daniel Bryan, number 5. Next big things. Paige, Liv, Sasha Banks, Angel Garza, and Mackie. Hot prospects. Brandi Lauren, Liv Morgan, Peyton Royce, Angel Garza, and Paige. Talk the Talk. John Cena, Bray Wyatt, Edge, Becky Lynch, and The Miz. Showstoppers. Seth Rollins, Nakamura, AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio, and Daniel Bryan. Ring Generals. Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Johnny Gargano, Seth Rollins, and Cesaro. Who's hot? Everybody, basically, because I don't really bother with momentum, and momentum just, yeah. But the game says Dakota Kai, Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, Shayna Baszler, and Asuka. And poor Big Show is the only one who's cold. I'll check the hidden gems just for the sake of it, just to see who's on here. Ronnie Nicole, Sami Zayn, Effie, Brody King, and Heath Slater, who can't come in because he was a Black Wednesday signing. I don't think I have a figurehead. I don't. These are the people I can... I see some interesting names on there. I'll go over that when I go over the roster in a minute. Product. This is the product I'm using. Sports Entertainment. No face... I'm not using a face and heel divide. I think it's just boring. Because, I'll get penalised for booking a face versus face match. Which... I still try not to book them as often. But I want to be able to book them at some point and not have the game just shit on it and go fuck off. That makes no sense. Weight split, none, of course. Stables, yes. Managers, yes. I'm actually going to untick Spiral Impact moves right now because I've been meaning to. I've got a large women's division, regular, evolving Western apparently. And these are the... If you want to look at these, pause, then I'll let you read them all. Can't be asked to read all of them. But if you're interested in that, that's what I'm using. Roster. I want to go over the perceptions. So major star. If you look at just the wrestlers, or no, actually I'll go any in ring. These are our major stars. Bray Wyatt on 89 pop. AJ's on 77. Aleister Black apparently is a major star. He's fluctuating between 70 and 74. Andrade again fluctuating between 71 and 74. Becky, who's on hiatus and I can't use for another 10 months because I don't like looking at her because it upsets me. Bobby Lashley, again, mainly 73s, 71s, 74s, 72s in some places. United States champion. Braun Strowman, 89s, 86, 88, that sort of area. High 80s, low 90s. Brock, 91 basically. Cesaro, 72-ish, 73. Bryan, high 80s, 190, Universal Champion. WWE Champion Drew McIntyre, high 80s, low 90s. Edge, 90, 91, 92 area. John Cena, 90. Kev, 74, 75. Randy Orton is basically 87 to 89, but he's got the one random 83 in there. Southeast really don't like Randy Orton that much, apparently. Ray, high 60s, low 70s. Roman, high 80s, low 90s. Sami Zayn, 70s and 71s. Seth Rollins, low 90s, high 80s. And Undertaker, 90 to 91. Our stars, I'll go a bit more quicker here. Big E, 67, 68. Charlotte, 69, 71, 70s and all that. Jeff Hardy, 65s across the board. Johnny Gargano, somewhere between 60 and 64. 67 for Kofi. Buddy Murphy, 66 to 68 area. Samoa Joe, mid-70s, 73, 75-ish. Nakamura, 71, 72. And The Miz, basically 62. These are all well-known people. And then everyone else is either recognisable or unimportant, which has a fair number of people on it. Tozawa, Aaliyah, Bo. A lot of these are new, or people that I need to work on, like the members of the House, Sugar Rush, all of J-Flow, people like that aren't unimportant in my eyes, but the game, obviously, they had like no pop to start the game, so they're going to be slow, especially when we're only medium. And all the new people, of course, like Aaliyah, Robert Stone, Brandy. Speaking of the Robert Stone brand, stables, we've got a lot of these because I'm a stable mark, basically. Aussie Might has some name value within WWE, hardly a major player. They're pretty hot. Brendan Vink, Shane Vaughan, Bronson Reed. Church of Rollins, hugely important, I agree. White Hot, I agree. They're basically the crutch of my booking for all of Raw throughout Season 1. Seth Rollins, Murphy, Candice LeRae, Johnny Gargano, Ruby Riott, Akam, Damian Priest, and Razor. Death from Above are technically a faction, because they've got Cynthia Crespo, Grand Metalik, Lince Dorado, and I've got something to address about him in a minute as well. GX apparently no more, because Rob Gronkowski lost, so he's got to leave WWE. But of course they were the Gronk, Mojo, and Shotzi Blackheart. J-Flow, little stats of WWE, that is bullshit. They are very important backbone of my roster. Maki, Marie, Kamina, Mizuki, and Tam, of course. The Forgotten, James Storm, Lacey Evans, Steve Cutler, Wesley Blake. House, Braun, Tucker, Dabba-Kato, and Obakanu. New Day is Big E, Kofi, and Xavier Woods, of course. Robert Stone Brand, Robert Stone, Aaliyah, and Brandy Lauren. The Vega Mafia, Zelina, Andrade, Isaiah Scott, and Santos Escobar. And VIP Nation leader is MVP, Apollo Crews, Shelton Benjamin, and Bobby Lashley. Teams, basically, we know what they all are. Alexa and Nikki, AOP, Big E, Woods, Breezango, Aussie Might, Carmella and Dana Brooke, Ricochet, Cedric, Dakota, Kabuki Warriors, Diamond Natty, Path of the Dragon, these sort of people. Titles. Money in the Bank is at 71. Prestige. I guess Austin Theory and Murphy are both in the history book for winning it, because I put it on the line in the match that Murphy won it in. Haven't done a Royal Rumble yet. Sasha's Women's Money in the Bank is there. WWE title is still on Drew McIntyre. Hasn't changed it all season so far. Be asked going through all of these, so pause if you really want to see, if you can't remember. And then Gronk was where it started with, yeah. Cesaro won it from Sami Zayn. Raw tag titles went from the Street Profits, then Aussie Might won them. VIP Nation won them, and then Aussie Might won them back. Raw Women's title has gone from Becky vacating to Shayna to Liv. SmackDown tag titles have gone from Miz and Morrison to New Day to Death from Above. SmackDown Women's title went from Bayley to Paige to Sasha. US title went from Andrade to Kevin Owens to Bobby Lashley. Braun Strowman dropped it to Daniel Bryan. Women's tag went from Alexa and Nikki to the Kabuki Warriors to Dakota and Raquel. I think that's everything I want to go over for what is called the company. Oh no, there isn't. Medical. Lindsay's out for 38 days. So, yeah, I'm definitely about going to have to vacate the titles. Other injuries I've got. Becky, 10 months out, of course. Brandy can work through it, so can Brendan Vink. Fandango, we haven't seen him at all. Originally, I called him and Breeze up to be basically the New Age Outlaws for GX, like the tag team in that stable. But Fandango has been injured all series, so that's not happened. Natty and Zyra are working through theirs, and Rezar is back in 35 days. Which is news I'm sure the Messiah would love to hear. This is interesting. Owner goals, the ones they've actually set me in the game. WWE must have at least as much popularity in USA as it did when the goal was set. That's got a year and 7 months on it. Can't hire anybody working from medium or above. So that's AEW. Asuka must have reached 69 pop in 3 years. Can't hire anyone over 38, and I can't hire anyone who is Daredevil. I may just be cheating if I break any of them, because they are very strict. I've been over the promises, yeah, Otis, Tucker. Been over size, that's the most important thing, and everything else is just default. I am losing a lot of money, that's because I've been upgrading the WWE Network. It's nothing to be alarmed about. It's, yeah, because I'm making money hand over fist if I didn't do the, where do I check it? Investments, yeah. Yeah, big. I put it big in India to try and get the pop up there in time for October. Don't think it's going to work. And it's big in Canada and the US and small everywhere else. In fact, I'm going to increase that now, right, just for you. Because I love you. £10 million down the drain. Dollars. But we still have 76, so it's fine. Oh, roster overview. I just did that. Okay, so Superstar Shakeup. As mentioned randomly in a promo by Paul Heyman, there is a draft coming up. And I have actually already done it. So I'm not going to do a video like last year or 2016 where I announced who was going where. It's going to be like WWE Superstar Shakeup formula where people just pop up on the show they're on now. And I will, if people don't make it on the show, I'll fit them into a segment somewhere, so everybody that will be shaken up will be on the show. In some capacity. So you'll be able to see who's gone where. But I'd like to keep it a mystery this time, basically. Because last year it made no sense. It was just a random announcement. I realised that once I did it. I was like, it was after Mania. But it wasn't on Raw because it had already been done by Raw. So when did it happen? And, like, was it a random WWE Network thing during the day? Did they do it on Twitter or some shit? Yeah, but anyway. So yeah, it's just a normal shake-up this time. State of the Universe. Something I want to go over. And we'll start with going over the NXT roster. Let's set this to wrestlers. Yeah, active role wrestler. As you can see, I haven't hired many people. We've got Ace Austin, Adam Cole. She's a referee, I don't know why she's come up. I've put role wrestler, status active wrestler. Oh well, she's there. Adja Smith, apparently. Alex Gracia, Alexander Wolf, Aether Valkyrie, Aria Davari, Arturo Ruas, Ashley Vox, Boa, Bobby Fish, Cameron Grimes, Carla Greyjoy, Catalina, Chase Parker, Chelsea Diamond, Chelsea Green, Danny Jordan, Danny Murphy. Danny Murphy? No, Danny Murphy is not on my roster. Danny Burch, Dave Mastiff, Denzel Dejournette, Dexter, Dio Madden, good old Mace, good old T-Bar, EJ, Eve Torres is down here as a personality, Faye Jackson, Finn Balor, Morgan Webster, Vipress, Hannah Blossom, Indy Hartwell, Eva Lease, Jake Atlas, Jamie Hayter, Cheat Rama, Jessamine Duke, Jessica Mayer, Jessica Troy, Ginny, Wacky and Wild, Jordan Devlin, Jordan Grace, Joseph Connors, Karen Q, Karrion Kross, Kavita Devi, Kira Hogan, Killian Dane, Conor Reeves, Kushida, Kyle O'Reilly, Kylie Ray, Lars Sullivan, a development PC graduate from the UK called Lauren Thatcher, or Melissa David. I renamed her because we have, spoiler alert, another Melissa. Lady Tupper's down here, Levi Muir, Maggot, Mansour, Marcel Barthel, Christy Janes, Marina Shafir, Mark Coffey. Again, another one. Courtney Lopez is a PC graduate. She's going by the name Mary Jo Foster. Matt Martell, Matt Riddle, Melissa, Mercedes, Mia Yim, Nadi, Natalia Markova, Nevea, Noam Dar, Pete Dunne, Primate, Prince Ahura, Rain, Raul Mendoza, Rhea Ripley, Ridge Holland, Rick Boogs, Rinku, Roderick Strong. Samir Singh, believe it or not, is still down in NXT despite popping up on Raw a couple of times. Santana Garrett, Sari, Sarav, Scarlett, Scott Garland, this guy, Shadrach Guida, another UK PC graduate, Buggy Nova, Sunil Singh, Taylor Hendrick, Tasha Steeles, Taya Valkyrie, Tegan, Brian Kendrick, Timothy Thatcher, Tommaso Ciampa, Trent Seven, Tyler Bate, Vanessa Bourne, Willow Nightingale, Xia Li, Zatara, and Zoe Lucas. We'll start with the rest of the world. Actually, no, first thing I need to check is NXT and their titles. I know who the champions are. NXT champion, Finn Balor, just like real life. But he won it off Adam Cole in this game. Keith Lee never won the belt. NXT Cruiserweight champion is Jake Atlas. He beat Jordan Devlin for it, and there hasn't been any other champions. North American champion, Cameron Grimes. Beat Keith Lee for it in this universe. He's had it for 40 days. And he's going straight to the moon. Yui, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong are the tag champs for like the 500th time down here in this world after Imperium vacated. And Rhea Ripley is a 2-time women's champion. Naomi Oshirai. NXT UK, their titles, if anyone cares, A-Kid and Mark Andrews, the tag champs. Kaylee Ray still the women's champ, and Volta still the UK champion. So now we do the real rest of universe, so outside of the WWE, and of course, where else are we going to start? With All Elite Wrestling. I think their roster looks exactly the same as it does in real life, apart from, of course, Luchasaurus is gone. I don't think they've hired anyone, is my point. Nobody looking too out of place here so far. They still have Jimmy Havoc and Bea Priestley. Yeah, that just looks normal to me. They've lost a couple of people, but they haven't signed anyone new. There's no, like, surprisingly new AEW people. If you look at their news, they've actually lost their broadcasting deal with ITV3 in the UK. They're still on TNT. They're just off ITV over here. And yeah, again, the only thing that's happened is Luchasaurus left when his contract didn't get renewed. And he's now on WWE TV. They're champions. The TNT champion is Matt Hardy. He's held over 2 days. He actually won it at All Out. There was a pay-per-view that clashed with SummerSlam Night 1. I think it was All Out. Yeah. Shida, the Queen, is still their women's champion. Pac is the world champion. And Paige and Omega are still the tag champs. We'll check New Japan. Their champions. Best of the Super Juniors was won by Kenta. They haven't done the G1 yet. Oh, no, they have Okada on it. Okay. That may also be where I think it's going to go in real life. Ibushi is the IWGP champion for the first time. Good old boy. Naito is the IC champion still. Hiromu is the light heavyweight. Or junior heavyweight, sorry. Junior tag is Phantasmo and Taiji. Tanahashi and Kota Ibushi are the IWGP tag team champions. Still in this world, so Ibushi's a double champion. Bad Luck Fale is the US champion. Yoshihashi, the open weight. Taiji, Gedo, and Jado were the Never Six Men. New Japan Cup hasn't happened, neither is the Super Tag League or the World Tag League. I will check Impact Wrestling. People seem to like that these days. Tenille is the Knockouts champion. Tessa is still the world champion. TJP and Ethan Page are the tag team champions. And Big Michael Elgin is the X Division champion. Have they hired anyone cool? Or have they just lost all their other men because I stole them for X? Apparently so. Ring of Honor, I guess we'll check last. Dalton Castle is the Pure champion. Sora the Fittest I haven't done. Top Prospect. Women of Honor is Angelina Love. Roosh is the world champion. Flip, Gordon, Jay Briscoe and Mark Briscoe, the 6-man. Jay Lethal and Jonathan Gresham are the tag team, and the television champion is Dragon Lee. That makes me want to look at Company Wars. So, of course, the Fed, Big WWE, still number 1. They're actually medium, they're actually the same size as NXT. So, but again, once the 33 days are up, we will go straight up to large. We're going to devour the competition. And so it goes WWE, AEW, New Japan, NXT, Impact, Ring of Honor. NWA is down here. MLW. The NWA have hired a lot of people as well, actually. Their titles. Crockett Cup was won by Miro and Marty Scurll. National Heavyweight Champion, Miro. World Tag Team Champions are vacant because James Storm got stolen by me. Television Champion is Zicky Dice. Women's Champion is Camille. And the World Heavyweight Champion is still good old Nick Aldis. I think that is it pretty much for the rest of the world stuff. I can check the most popular or whatever like that, but it's all my guys. Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Edge, Randy, Seth, Bryan, Bray, Roman, Hogan, Chris Jericho, Triple H, Drew, yeah. Mainly all WWE guys. John Moxley is not a WWE guy. Chris Jericho again, not a WWE guy. Joe, Big Show, Balor, Kane, The Sombra, Kevin Steen. Kenny Omega is number 32. This cunt is still up here. Cody is there. Okada. Yeah, pretty much your familiar faces. Nobody too surprising, apart from when you get down to the bottom of the list and you get like fucking Jake Hager, Fabian Eichner, Io, Akam, Dakota Kai's on here. All sorts. Drew Gulak, Grand Metalik. People like that you don't expect on here, but this end is all your usual suspects. This one, I put a question mark next to it because I still have a fair number of goals left, so I'm not going to be taking too many on, but you can leave some if you would like to. I know there are people that have been chomping at the bit in Discord to make me do other stuff. This is your opportunity. Go nuts. I have a lot of stuff planned already for Season 2. Hopefully nothing that you put in there will throw me off my game too much and make me have to change anything up, otherwise it will take longer to get through. But obviously, as I finished some, they're going to have to be replenished. So do your worst and get typing away. Lastly, is the special announcement I have. Sort of goes hand in hand with something we've already gone over. And you may have noticed when I went through the developmental roster, there was a lot of people in there of a certain subsection. There was a lot of this sort of wrestler in developmental, more than there should be normally. And most of them aren't staying. They are here for one specific purpose, and that is all. Mae Young Classic. Number 3, 2020. Will begin, like how I did 205 Live in 2016. After SmackDown, we'll stick the Mae Young Classic episode on the end of that. It will go through the end of SmackDowns for like the rest, how long it ever takes to get me through it. And then the final will be crowned at Evolution. The winner of the Mae Young Classic will be crowned at Evolution. And next episode won't be Raw, it will be sort of the bracketology for Mae Young Classic, so we can go over who's in it and like break it down like that, like they do in real life. And so yeah, that's a special announcement. Mae Young Classic number 3 begins at the start of season 2 after an episode of SmackDown. So with that, I believe everything I want to go over has been gone over. So again, if you want to try me, leave your challenges in the comments below. Let's get this refreshed and let's make season 2 even more bigger and better. I'm going to try and do more of the editing stuff in season 2. Like, I plan on having full Raw and SmackDown intro videos again. There won't be for the 50 and 51 episodes because I'll have to put the shake-up people in them. I don't want to give that away in the intro. So, actually, it's already been done, and Eagle Eye viewers may have already seen a couple of changes when I went over the roster. But other than that, stuff that you've earned if you looked for it. Yeah, I don't want to give anything away, like, in the video. So they'll be there for episode 53 and 54, hopefully. And just like more general editing, like more general match card graphics for... Like, one thing I wanted to toy with was do like an like I think at the start of each episode of Raw, we have graphics going over what's going to take place on that show. Don't know if I'm going to go ahead for it, but that's the sort of thing I'm talking about. Like, I'll try and up the sort of production for season 2 because I enjoy it. There's no financial gain to it at all. It's just something I enjoy doing. So, without anything else to say, that has been the end of State of the Universe, episode 50 of the TW 2020 Challenge Run. And I'll see you next time for the Mae Young Classic Bracketology. And then after that, season 2 begins with Monday Night Raw. See you then.